Hey everybody, welcome back to Gaming with Knock. I am Knock, your host. We're here today to talk about when air attacks. That's right, I got a bunch of air attacks I want to share with you. Builder Hall 6 and 7. Builder Hall 6 versus 7, as well as Builder Hall 7 versus Builder Hall 7. And I just thought it'd be kind of interesting to just look at a bunch of air attacks. Mass beta minions, a couple of Night Witch and minions, so Mitch attacks. And I think I have a couple of defensive attacks that were Baby Mitch and Baby Dragons and beta minions as well. So we got some decent attacks to take a look at. I've been doing this event. For anybody who doesn't know, anybody who maybe is watching this video later on, it's October 2017, and we have this Battlefest event going on that Supercell gave us. And this is a blast. I mean, it really is. I have been having so much fun with this event. The thing that's cool about it is that the loot cap, which normally resets once a day, now resets 3 times a day, or every 8 hours. So it's basically 3 times a day. And, I mean, we're all just rolling in loot. Just rolling in it. And I got my dropships upgraded to level 13 because of this. Right now they're going to level 14, which I cannot wait for. Got a little over 4 days left for that. The level 13 dropships, I gotta say, man, they pretty well rock. I mean, they're a blast. 193 hit points more on those puppies, and they just absolutely kick it. I already had my level 14 beta minions, so between the two, my Minion Drops attacks are much, much stronger, which means they're an awful lot more fun. And you can see from my battle log, 100% 3-star, 70% 2-star, 100% 3-star, 100% 3-star, 100% 3-star, 100% 3-star, 74% 2-star, and even the ones that I lost were 64, 70%, whatever 2-stars. you can see I'm doing pretty well. Thought we'd start off with some Builder Hall 6 versus Builder Hall 7. A lot of times players complain, hey, I can't possibly beat Builder Hall 7 because I'm a Builder Hall 6. Well, most of us are playing with Builder Hall 6 troops on most of our games. All of my free-to-play games are running Builder Hall 6 troops. I think one of them, CoC BB, has level 13 beta minions. But my Builder Hall 6 games, of course, don't. They've only got level 12, and so do most of my other ones. So let's take a look at a couple of these attacks. We got, let's see, versus J80 Rice. Zedford Didagung is, of course, Builder Hall 6. This one, we're going to sweep up from the bottom. You can see right away what the first problem is with this game. I say this all the time. The air bombs are pretty well out of the picture for most of the attack. They're off to the side, which means that there's a huge area they can't touch of the center of the base. Base is pushed up a little bit, not much, but I mean just enough. There's enough buildings in the bottom part of the base, including the giant cannon, that you can go in with your beta minions and take out a pretty good chunk of this base. It's kind of a mix of level 4, level 5 defenses. You can see that they haven't upgraded the firecracker yet. I don't know if that's level 1 or 2. I can't tell. But before the air bombs really become a serious issue, we destroy 72, 74% of the base. Yeah, 74% of the base. So, I mean, that's a lot of destruction before we even send in our battle machine. And we're going to send the battle machine in, and he's only level 5. Originally, I wanted him to go into the hub, but you see he targets that army camp on the left. And this has been a real problem with the battle machine ever since he came off this last update. But the interesting thing is, he reacquires his target and goes into the middle. I've been seeing a lot of target reacquisition by the battle machine, and I'm starting to get the hang of where the AI will do that. This is one of those times I was curious if he would do it or not, and he did. It's almost like he walks for a little bit and then looks to see if there's anything closer to him to go after. I haven't quite figured it out entirely yet. I saw the same thing when I was running up against a base I needed to break into. Instead of acquiring something within the base and breaking through the wall like he was supposed to, even though the thing in the base was closer, he went the more accessible route. He went the easy way and walked around, literally halfway around the base to get to something that was on the outside. So I'm still kind of getting that feel for how he thinks in the new update. There's still some figuring out going on there. But in this case, he went where I wanted him to go, and we ended up with a 3-star. Builder Hall 6 versus Builder Hall 7. Okay? Not only is it a 3-star, but it was a 3-star win. Well, it was a draw in this case. But I mean, 100% was a good, strong 3-star. The next one I got here is Naid Kosanta versus Izal. This is another Builder Hall 6 versus Builder Hall 7. And yes, this one actually is a win. It's 93% 2-star. And the only reason it's 93% 2-star is because I ran out of time. This is where I said before, and I'll remind everybody who uses this mass beta minion attack, it's in your best interest to hold back a couple, 3 beta minions until the very end of the attack to help clear stuff with your battle machine. I was in a rush, and I'll tell you, I'm really bad for this. I'll drop everything. I shouldn't do it. I know I shouldn't. But I did. And as a result, I suffered. However, as you can see, the big problem with this base is the one that I keep harping on, air bombs in the lower right corner. Not even a factor for the attack. We take out the top half and a little bit of the core there, as well as a little bit of the left, if you will. That really, we shouldn't have been able to get to any of that stuff. If those air bombs had been in the middle where they belong, this would have been a very, very much different attack. Battle machine comes in. I'm going to take this up to 4x so we can get through this because there's a lot of buildings. He's going to get like 40% all by himself. And if he just had 30 seconds longer, or if I had those beta minions, this would have been a 3-star. Breaking out. Matter of fact, if it had been a Battle Machine 10, I bet it would have been a 3-star too. But the point is, it's a Builder Hall 6 game against a Builder Hall 7. There we go. We ran out of time. The next one I've got for you is a Builder Hall 7, but it's the Phoenix Abyss Hyper Rush game. Now, those of you who have watched these videos know that Phoenix Abyss, as my Hyper Rush game, and why did it do that? I don't want to do that. I want to look at Phoenix Abyss. That the Phoenix Abyss Hyper Rush game went to Builder Hall 6 in a whopping 24 days. And here you can see the basis running. It's running the same one I got on my main. I tested it here first. Lots of level 4 stuff, a little bit of level 5. But, you know, Archer Towers are level 4, and Crushers are level 3. Multi-Mortars level 2. Teslas are level 4. So defensively, this is essentially a level 4 defense. Now, being Builder Hall 7, it's got a lot more of those level 4 defenses, so it's going to be a little bit harder to take down. But a good solid Builder Hall 6 player would say level 12 beta minions, or maybe a level 12 Bombarian attack, could in fact take this down if they know what they're doing. And that's kind of the point I'm trying to make with these first few videos here, these replays here, is that as a Builder Hall 6, you can do a lot more than you think you can. Okay? Now, he goes up against a Builder Hall 7. Of course, no big surprise there. And the 5th camp is very helpful. But what's really neat about this, you'll notice I hold back 4 beta minions. Now, at first, I'm holding them back because that's what I usually do on mass beta minion, right? But if you look down at the bottom here, he's got all those buildings that are essentially outside the realm of any kind of real defense. Take a look at the defensive area of those air bombs. The beta minions are going to get off 4 long shots and take out a huge amount of what's there. Before the air bombs can really deploy, they've got the first couple buildings defeated. And then you've got 3 of them working on one building. It goes down. And then you got 2 of them working on the next building. That's 15% that we got for 4 beta minions at the very bottom without them really suffering any kind of attacks. The rest of the beta minions sweep down, and then we send in our level 3 battle machine. He gets 1 or 2 buildings along the way, takes out a troop or whatever. But the point is, with these Builder Hall 6 level troops, and again, the extra camp does make a difference, we're able to do a fair amount of damage against this Builder Hall 7 base. And I like doing that kind of split beta minion thing. And I've been doing more and more of that on my mass beta minion attacks. It's kind of become a thing for me to do. I think Knocked Hair. Where is that? There it is. I think this is my last mass beta minion attack I was going to show you guys. We're just going to spam him at the top in 2 sets. First set goes in and takes out a couple of buildings, trips a few traps, and then we set in the second set to let them use their long shot to take out a few more buildings. Toughest thing about this base, of course, is the roaster there, and the roaster does number on a lot of our troops. But the air bombs, they're at the bottom of the base, basically the second row into the defensive structure or the defensive lines on the back end of the base, and they're off to the side. They're just not a major factor. Now, we're going to get more than half of this base down, and the air bombs aren't going to affect it at all. They're not going to stop us from doing that. At this point, we can send in the battle machine, and we're back to this pathing thing where he kind of does what he wants to do. You can hope that he's going to go where you want him to go, but you need to spend time figuring out that AI to get him to do what you want him to do. We're fortunate that the giant cannon was down. Speed that up a little bit. And there it goes. Down with the battle machine. Take him down. Take him down. Builder Hall's gone. So we get a nice solid 2-star out of this. But unexpectedly, we have just enough juice to get through the rest. And what was going to be a 2-star is now going to be a 3-star. That's kind of cool. I don't know about you guys, but on this event that's going on, I have been getting tons and tons of 3-stars. So, how about a couple of Mitch attacks? I got 2 different types of Mitch attacks here. Looking at a diamond base. We're going to come in from that top corner. And I'm sure you guys will recognize this as being very much a textbook Mitch attack. We'll 2x it. Battle machine goes down to clear any nasties. In come the night witches. As they get close, we drop down the beta minions. Beta minions go in and start to clear with the interference of the battle machine and the bats from the night witches. Battle machine doesn't take long to go down, but we do get he does distract long enough for all the other troops, the air troops, to go in and do their damage. And we've got enough beta minions left over that we're able to do a little bit more damage at that air bomb. And we get the 3-star. Second Mitch attack. This one's different from the first. We're going to come from the side this time. And you can see I spread the night witches across. And so their bats go all the way along the side of the base. That's not by accident. I want them to go in and clear out any potential mega mines that might be set to air. Then when they're all gone, I send in my beta minions. These level 13 beta minions are nice. If you guys don't have them yet, maybe you've got them in the process of upgrading, you're really going to you're going to enjoy them when they finally come out of the lab. They're much stronger. And the beta minion has been acting kind of wonky since the update. I don't know. This line is holding pretty tight like I would expect it to. But a lot of times they branch off and kind of do their own thing. So I haven't figured out why they're doing that yet. I mean, I know it's got something to do with the AI, but the interactions I haven't figured out. Line continues to work its way down. The Night Witch up there keeps throwing more bats at things as they go down. That's how we get our 3-star. These air bombs are just not being a factor, and I can't complain because as long as they're not a factor, I'm going to get my 3-stars, which is fun. What else? What else? What else? How about... Oops. How about a Baby Mitch attack? This guy 3-starred my base using Baby Mitch, which is no small feat. This base does not usually get hit with that high a percentage of damage. He does have level 14 troops and a level 18 battle machine, which no doubt made a big difference. This is not a base designed to go up against max troops. But standard Baby Mitch, you take the Baby Dragons in to tank and hit some of those higher hit point structures. Bring in the Beta Minions behind them. Bring in the Night Witches. Let their bats do some distracting of air defenses. You'll notice, really, the Night Witches themselves haven't done any real damage. They're going to take out this roaster. And there it goes now. But most of the damage from the Night Witches has been from their bats. And, of course, the bats are distracting things. Battle Machine's able to do a fair amount of damage as well. I like holding back on the Battle Machine and waiting until later on to throw him in there. It's a fairly common tactic. This guy used it against my base as well. So that's Baby Mitch. Let's take a look at this Baby Dragon and Beta Minion one as well. This is a fairly common attack right now. Lots of people running Baby Dragons and Beta Minions together. It's, again, fairly straight up. You send the the Baby Dragons in to tank. In this case, he starts off by getting some of those outside buildings with the Beta Minions, which is a good idea. Baby Dragons will draw the fire of the roaster. Will take on the fire from the firecrackers. And in the meantime, the Beta Minions can go in and do more damage. As a tank, the Baby Dragon's okay, but the dropship's a superior troop. No two ifs, ands, or buts about it. It is a much better tank, but it's slower, and it doesn't really shoot like the Baby Dragon does. I mean, sure, you get the skeletons, but it's not targeting something and shooting at it. So, like, for example, the Crushers, and you'll see this when I do some Minion Drops attacks here in a minute. The Crushers are going to stay up while the dropship's over top of it. They're only going to get, the skeletons are only going to get one hit in. You need more than that, but they're only going to get the one hit in. Whereas with the Baby Dragon, he's going to get several hits in and take out a fair amount of the hit points. So there's a big difference between the two. It's just, it's how you use them, the quantity that you take. There we go, 69%. And I'll show this to you. Let's get out of that. In some replays on the Nocterror account. Start with this one. Dropships at level 13 are great. They get that 10% boost in their tanking ability, and that allows them to drop a lot more stuff. Now, where you've got a lot of grounds, they're going to go in and just wreak havoc real early. You want to be as early as you can. The Beta Minions are coming in from against most of the stuff they're going to deal with. And you've got the skeletons distracting the giant cannon. You've got the skeletons doing all kinds of things down. And, of course, this gives you 9 Skellies. Yeah, there's 9 Larrys, I think it is, that pops out when the drop ship. Great. Finally, here we are toward the end, and I go ahead and send in the Battle Machine. And this is how all these attacks now. Skeletons continue to do some decent damage. They're going to take a few more things out before they finally get taken down. More things, but a few more things after they dropped with the speed this up to. Come on, Battle Machine, go, go, go! It takes a while to break through the walls, but it gives me plenty of time to juice him back up again so he can take out that Crusher. 100% 3-star. By now, you may have guessed I'm kind of drop ships from more or less the bottom right. We're trying to avoid again, which makes it even more likely that this is going to be a successful attack. When I first started the event, my multi-mortar was down, and I put her with the proceeds from the first day of the 1.5 million, and I already had. So I thought, well, this is a good opportunity to drop my roaster and get him up to level 7. And I was so that I could continue to get more loot for the next thing I was going to put down, which was going to be the firecrackers. And I mean, it was insane. And this whole battle get out, but trophy after trophy after trophy. Oh my gosh, it was all. I think I dropped like the roaster was down. And finally, I'm like, enough is enough. I mean, people are 3-star on my base. They're getting 85, 90%. No idea that the roaster was so important to that base design. I finally was enough, and I jammed the remaining, like, I think it was 3 days or something like that were left on it. And got it back in. It was that bad. And I did a firecracker after that. But at that point, I stopped because even I was getting hit with these air attacks that were doing way, way too well against my base. I made the decision that I was just going to work on like mines and walls and things like that on the game instead. And I ended up doing the same thing on my other games as well. Rather than doing major defenses, I started working on just the kind of tangent defenses, whether it was a wall or a mine or whatever. I started working on things that were not going to cause me to lose battles quite so easily. It's not so bad. I mean, if you got a single day where you're running those attacks, but when you're playing as many games as I am, and you're hitting so many losses, all because a major defense is down, you got to do something. There's not much of a choice there. Coming at this base here, from the right-hand side, it's the same thing as the other ones that you've seen. We drop the drop ships down to go in and tank and distract, and then we bring in the beta minions behind it. So much of the front side of this base is really where the bulk of the defenses were. There's not a lot of defense on the back end of it. So when I bring in my battle machine, the beta minions have taken out most everything, and what little is left is just not a serious issue. We don't lose a whole heck of a lot. We'll speed them up and let them finish. Beta Minion is going to finish off those Tesla towers in the middle of the no man's land for us. Hopefully you guys are working on your drop ships. I don't know if I said that or not. If you are, anybody who started working on their drop ships at the beginning of the event, you're looking at getting up to level 7 by the end of this event. Possibly level 8 a couple days later. Dropships go in, start working on a couple of high hit point structures. Beta minions knocking them out from the back end as well. Giant cannons all the way up there in the second level of defense line. Makes it much easier to take him out before we send in the battle machine. Getting down another dropship there to go in and replace the one that went down. He's going to go after that archer. There he goes. This is the one time the guard post troops are actually useful. They draw the dropships in. You can use that to reposition your dropships to a place that you want them to be, as opposed to where they decide they're going to fly. It's a good way of getting them away from the crushers as well. So beta minions take out a happy 80% of the base before we send in our battle machine. Battle machine is going to clean up. He's going to take out that builder hall. And once again, there's really nothing to stop him. There's a cannon and a Tesla left. But as long as you're hitting the charge button to use the utility or the ability, it's not going to stop him. It's just going to slow him down a little bit, and that's it. Leaving the archives and hopping into the battle log. Lots more 100%ers in here. Start off down here. And I think you guys have seen enough of these now. I'm going to go ahead and speed them up a little bit so we can get through them. It's really become, like I said, very much a textbook attack for me. I send in 3 or 4 of them at the beginning, targeting whatever air defenses are there. spot I'm going to launch the attack, my deployment point. Let them distract, let them tank. Beta minions do the rest. I mean, a lot of these attacks, I could almost not deploy my battle machine. I mean, this is a good example. He's only going to have like 4 structures left to take out. Yeah, 5 structures and one of them's almost dead. The only thing that can even attack him is the cannon. And it's going to take the cannon a month of Tuesdays to do serious damage to him. By then, he's got it down. Now he's just got to hammer through the walls. Looking forward to having my level 5 walls. I think they're going to do pretty good for me with these attackers. And boom, 100% 3-star. Against Nemesis. Bum, bum, bum. Doobie doobie doo. Let's see, that's Nemesis. So we're on Kunal. Another diamond-shaped base. Gonna come in from the bottom, targeting the roaster and staying away from the air bombs. Air bombs are the weapon of mass beta minion destruction, but they are also the weapon of dropship destruction. They definitely do a number on those dropships. It only takes a few hits from them for the dropships to go down. More than 70% taken out before I sent in the battle machine. I decided to walk him around the outside rather than send him straight into the middle. The timing just seemed better. I don't know how to explain that other than to say the timing seemed better. I hit the ability, and instead of going after the crusher, he decides he's going to go after the multi-mortar. That got me a little concerned. That got dicey. As you can see, I'm almost dead. But I managed to get a couple of clutch hits in there on the ability to keep him up and take out the last defense. And we get our 3-star. See, that was Kunal. So next up is what looks like somebody from China. I think that's all kanji. Well, that could be katakana. Or no, hiragana. I'm afraid my Asian alphabet's a little rusty. Coming in from the side opposite of the air bombs again. We have a relatively exposed giant cannon, so we'll be able to get him out of the way before we drop the battle machine. Replacing the drop ships as they go down. A little bit late getting that one in there, but he gets in just in the nick of the time to be able to distract and take out some other stuff with some of his skeletons. We can speed it up now. Battle machine comes in on cleanup duty, starts to work his way around. The beta minions, there's a ton of them left. So this one went really well. They got that air bombs down. At that point, there was nothing to really stop them. Let's see, what do we got next? The Legend. You'll notice there's a couple of army camps off to the side, and to be honest, I didn't see them when I first did this attack, so they end up waiting to the end. But the bulk of the attack is really focused on the middle of the base, so I wasn't all that worried about it. As long as my dropships could get in there and take out all those more ground type defenses and structures, things that really aren't as of much concern to the air. Goes in and starts wreaking some havoc, and we've still got some beta minions left. Distract that roaster so that really affected by anything he's got to offer. And then we get that, so we're good for the 3-star. Did I have another one? No, just this latest one, I think. So this from the right, again, like I said, opposite of the air bombs. We've got the giant cannon, and we've got 3 fire. and lots of buildings that the skeletons can work. So I can't wait to get ship. All those Larrys. That's my new word. Blast. Life's a blast. Games are a blast. And the weapon of mass beta minion destruction is in our poor little beta minions. Leaving that builder hall there all alone. Almost destroyed, but not quite. In goes the battle machine, and we can now speed it up to 4x. Just enough time to charge them one last time before we go after the crusher. And then there's just some junk buildings left for another 3-star. Believe it or not, these 3-stars are not at all uncommon right now for me. I'm going up against enough people that I'm really doing very well in the Battlefest event on this main game. So there you have it. That would be the episode for today. When Air Attacks. I hope you guys found some useful attacks, some useful replays in there to take a look at, and that this helps you to continue to formulate your own strategies as you go out and use air to take down some of these Builder Hall 7 bases. If you liked the video, please hit like. I would appreciate a subscribe. We're trying to build the channel. Need to get it to 10,000 views and more. And if you got any comments, questions, put them down below or drop me a line on the forums. I'm a comment on there. I get on there every day, a few times a day to answer questions and chit-chat about the game. Other than that, that's all I got for you, and I hope you all have a lot of fun with this Battlefest event. Keep on clashing and keep on going. Bye-bye.